everybody, and welcome back to the farm. I'm so glad to have you here because today I had a really big epiphany, and that is that the fact that I am a teacher kind of bleeds over into everything else that I do, meaning that I am a teacher all the time and I can't necessarily turn it off. So I have recently come across some challenges in the keeping and collecting of eggs. What I mean is, because we have so many chickens and we are collecting a lot of different kinds of eggs, and I have 3 incubators going in my house, it began to get really complicated about how long I've been collecting a certain type of egg really quickly. So, of course, being the teacher that I am, I came up with a couple solutions. Number one, used to, back when we first started incubating eggs, I really only had 1 dozen, maybe 2 at a time. And a trick that I was told by a very reliable source was to just take your egg carton and during the days that you are collecting, just lean it up against anything and tilt it, right? So I always had an egg carton in my kitchen and it was tilted, and then in the evening you just turn it, right? So that you are turning those eggs in so they do not get stuck. The yolks inside do not get stuck to the side, which would hurt the hatch rate for those eggs. So, you know, I just had that going in our kitchen and it was no big deal. Then it got to the point where there were so many egg cartons in our kitchen that it was in the way, and obviously because inside these eggs are living things, I was like, hey, don't jostle the egg cartons, okay? They were everywhere. So in order to help with that issue, I got these book rests. So let me take the eggs off so that you can actually see this. And then I will talk about my egg system here in a minute. So this was the absolute cheapest binder slash book rest that I could find on Amazon that was adjustable. Okay, and it also has this little tiny piece at the end that kind of holds the eggs. If anybody wants this, I'm going to link it in the description of this video. It's unsponsored. They work really well, and I have a few going. I'm just going to show you one setup here today. So then that solved one of my issues because I can stack 3 egg cartons on this one, like, I think it was about $8 book holder, right? So then my other issue you will see was I did not know how many days I had been collecting. To be on the safe side, I only collect eggs before I stick them in an incubator for 5 days. So I have chicks in here with a number next to them up to number 5. Now, is it necessary that it has a chick on the picture? No, but I'm a teacher, so the cuter the better. And the way that I do this every day, and I'm just about to do it, that's why I'm filming. So see, this is day 2, but I have more eggs over here in my other egg carton, the ones I just collected, and I'm going to dispense those. So I'm going to add and change my numbers today. So that was a 2, this one is a 2, right? So I'm just going to peel off. Let me show you. By the way, these are Velcro dots. And if you're a teacher, you have tons of them. And we buy them all the time. I should have gotten stocks in lamination and Velcro, but you know, hindsight. So I have, of course, because I am a teacher, I have a color printer at my house. I have my own laminator and my own lamination sheets, and I have Velcro dots at my disposal. And I feel like the only reason I was like, wait, a binder holder will hold all of these egg cartons so much easier and I can tilt them back and forth. Because I'm a teacher, right? This is why I was like, I have teacher tools that will help me with this problem. So, and then I have little plastic containers, and that's where I'm going to put all of my little chicks. And I made these on Google Sheets and printed them and laminated them and cut them out so that they're going to last forever. I have really thick lamination. They're going to last a really long time. And it's a great system for me personally. The other thing I want to tell you, this you can give to my husband teacher. This was his idea, so he gets credit for this. So we were also struggling to remember whether or not we had already turned our eggs. We'll just put an M for morning, and then once it's turned over, that's A for afternoon. Because believe it or not, when you do something every single day, it's difficult to remember whether or not you've done it today or not. So these eggs are ready. I've been collecting for 3 days, and I can keep up with that now, so let's do the others. I have a really big calendar where I have these chicks should go into lockdown this day, and I have my incubators labeled as well. So this is incubator number 3 because it's the last one we bought, and I have written a 3 on it. So I say incubator number 3 goes into lockdown this day. Chicks should hatch out this day. And the main reason I do that is just so that we're making sure that on our actual calendar, the big one that I have in the hallway, that we are keeping track for like whether or not we're going to be here, because I like to monitor the hatching process, and so if we're not going to be here, then I try to plan around the fact that eggs are going to be hatching out this day and possibly the next day, and then I know that I've got to get my brooder ready. I like to keep track of everything and when it happens. And on top of that, another thing I do is I collect data. Now, the data I collect is based on hatch rates for each one of my coops. So each breed of chicken that I have, I keep up with their hatch rates and whether or not I think all of the chickens are producing, whether or not the rooster to hen ratio is working, so my fertilization rates, egg laying, so whether or not all of my hens are laying like they should be, and then I'm using that data to make data-driven decisions, right? And I know a lot of people do this, but I really do think that one of the main reasons collecting data and then using that data to make decisions comes so naturally to me is because I am a teacher. So I showed y'all my planner in a different video, but I use this planner every single day, and this is how I track all of the egg laying, and this is how I track my egg laying. Right? And I have frowny faces and happy faces for when the egg laying finally my egg numbers went up, thanks to, I think, because we switched feeds, who knows. And so because of that, we're going to continue to buy new feed. But I notice when there are problems because I collect the data. And I know when the problems started, and I know when the problems started getting better. And same for any kind of hatch rate discrepancies. So as soon as I notice that hatch rates are going down, if there's not an environmental reason, for example, you know, there's freezing weather and maybe they just got too cold, and so that's why my fertilization rates are down. But I keep track of it all so that if there is any kind of problem, I can start deciding how to fix those problems. And I think it's really, really helpful. If you liked this video and you thought it was helpful, please make sure that you like it and subscribe, and go ahead and hit that bell icon so that you can get notifications next time we put out another video. But for now, bye guys!